As you can tell from the title, AEW Hired or Fired. I am Phil Marks, and this is the entire AEW roster as of, a few days ago, including broadcasting, or last week, I think, when I put these together, including, coaches, broadcast, referees, etc. This is the first of many to come, hired or fired. I'm going to tell you guys who I would hire, who I would fire. I'm going to fantasy mark book some of these goobers a little bit. No, I'm not hating on anybody. Yeah, some names are iffy too. Dustin Rhodes I see is in here, and they're like, he's a free agent. Well, we're gonna hire and fire these guys and talk about this overbloated roster a little bit. Talk about who Tony Khan should keep and why. Also, there will be a follow-up to this hired or fired, where the people who stay hired in the PWT universe, I'm going to then tier list them S through D. You know how people do it. I know people do the entire roster, but it's ludicrous, right? I mean, how do you even tier some of these guys if you adjust it for AEW inflation, I guess, you know what I mean? So we're going to pick the guys we're going to hire. I'll do a follow-up video where we tier them. So I hope you guys are into this. And we're going to do one of these for WWE too. We're going to do one of these for Ring of Honor. And I don't know, New Japan, whatever. We're to chat. You guys let me know, what rosters you want to see. But we're going to start with AEW. As it should be, Juan Salazar. Tony Khan should fire himself.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Yo, that is hilarious. So we got everybody here. Tony Khan, surprisingly, though, wasn't on the roster page. So I'm just going based off their website. And then a couple of names like, Bobby Lashley shows up on the show. He wasn't on the roster page at the time I accumulated the pictures. So I went, all right, I'll throw him on there myself, pal. Tony McCann, who of course likes to call himself, he's the CEO, general manager, booker, lead of creative and writer of AEW, same with for the Jaguars, we pointed it out as titles like lead statistician and draft pick connoisseur, whatever. And he's got all these titles all the time. I'm surprised himself is not on the roster page, or Dave Meltzer at this point. Okay, so starting with this gentleman here, who is this right here? I guess I should have people's names, right? Oh yeah, here I botched already. Who is this? We don't even know. Oh, I had a thing pulled up here that I got to I think they're out of order. So I did have it alphabetically. I think these just uploaded in whatever way their file name is. So I did kind of botch. I believe this is Nick Camarado. We'll start with him. I'm actually going to hire Nick Camarado. I'll tell you why. A big, intimidating, hairy, scary guy who it seems as though he wants to try and spread his wings a bit and get into the character work stuff. Plus, he's like a Nightmare Factory guy, I believe. So, Cody Rhodes has got his fingerprints on him. Surprisingly, Nick Camarado's just not on TV. I don't know if he's in Ring of Honor or what, but I'd keep him. I'd turn him into a big heel. And he's not even terribly green either. He's not that bad in the ring, but I'm sure a bunch of you are like, who? This guy here, I completely forget his name. He was the librarian, I believe, and now he's the pretty whatever guy. I'm just going to fire him. He's like James Ellsworth level. Next on the list, Orange Cassidy. Now, this might shock some of you, but I say it on the show all the time. If you book this guy correctly, he could be super over with kids. He could do all your Make-A-Wish. He could be just one of these he could be like an R-Truth if you were smart and knew how to actually book the guy correctly. So I'm actually going to hire Orange Cassidy, believe it or not. I know some of you might be like, oh, come on now, Phil. You what?
You what?
But he did sell t-shirts, and I know it's not he sells t-shirts, so should have a job, but it just trust me on this, okay? At the beginning, it made sense. Even guys like Kevin Nash were like, yeah, this guy kind of gets it. And he does, but you can't book him as this serious dude. We've beat it to death. Everyone's beat it to death. But if the WWE had Orange Cassidy, they would know what to do with him, especially right now, they'd figure, or maybe even Vince would know better what to do. Yeah. Anyways, though, Powerhouse Hobbs, I mean, it goes without saying, we need to hire this guy and get him in NXT, toot sweet. Hired or fired. So Penta's here, And I don't know if it's fair. I guess he's not with AEW anymore. So just to be fair, I'm going to fire him. But like, you guys know I'd hire his ass tomorrow. But I just don't think we can even, I'm not going to pick because I don't think he's technically on any roster right now. Okay. So chat, what do you guys think? Should I hire or fire him based on him not being with the company? I'll just give my opinion. How about that? I won't overthink it. We'll hire Penta, not going to give it an explanation because we don't know where he is. The next gentleman here, Matt Taven, part of the United Kingdom is what I call them, the Undisputed Empire or whatever their name is. Yeah, so honestly, good hand. We're not trying to overbloat this roster, though. That's the problem, right? And that's the big issue here. Matt Taven, I do think he's a solid professional wrestler, but it's just like we're gonna hire Kenny Omega. Oh, come on now, Phil. Spoilers, but yeah, I'm sorry. It's just you give me Omega vibes. I gotta fire you, buddy. I'm so sorry. Daniel Bryan, he gets a job just based off the fact the whole WrestleMania was based around him, and he's a legend. So yeah, he's obviously, even if he's got to be a coach, even if we're hiring him as a talent scout or whatever, he's on the roster. Again with Shelton Benjamin, we're going to hire him too. And the reason being, he's going to be a coach. If he's on TV, he's going to job. Now, oh, come on now, Philly doesn't want to do that. That's why I went to AEW. I know, but we're pretending we have like infinite money here, okay? Jay White, believe it or not, I'm overbloating the roster. I am going to hire Jay White. I think he's one of the best all around, and you can put him in a tag team. You can put him as a single. You can put him as, whatever position you need him to be in. He's going to play that position. Whether he's like cutting a funny babyface promo or he's being a complete dick, he's good either way. So I'm going to hire Jay White. This next, is this Adam Silver guy or whatever his name is? I don't even know your name. He's been in AEW forever. Nothing's come of it. I'm going to fire you, bud. I'm super sorry. This is Anthony Ogogo, the boxer. We're talking like, okay, we're in kayfabe. Is this like building our own fed or we're building with AEW? I don't know how you guys want to look at it, but let's just say there's no NIL or training, like real training going on. They're not developing the future in AEW. I'm sorry, they're not. I'm gonna let Anthony go. Sorry to see you go, buddy. Big Show, I'm gonna hire him because again, a coach. He could be coaching Omos. He could be Satnam Singh. Could be like he could be managing Satnam Singh. I mean, Christ, I know that would be silly too, but it's better than what they have him like interviewing the ROH guys after the match. He's like 12 feet taller than these guys. I don't know what to tell y'all, but Big Show, he's a legend. I'd put him on an AEW Legends contract. It's great. Keith Lee, I'm gonna hire him as well, because we know with his potential, I'm not going to go, oh, he gets sick, so I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't know about all that. That's not what we're judging it based on. I just look at him and go, yeah, the Bearcat. I'm going to put him in a singlet. Yeah, call him the Bear. I need some more attitude from you, some like that. Yeah, I would keep him, though. You guys know, Triple H put the NXT and North American title on him at the same time. They filmed multiple TV, they were doing tapings and filmed multiple endings around this guy because, I don't know, they put him in the Rumble. There's huge pops. People get invested in Keith Lee. So, and he is a great athlete. Health, I don't know. This guy right here, I believe he's in the infantry or whatever. I'm so sorry, buddy. You're getting fired. And yeah, trust me, some of these guys I will hire to be jobbers, like high-level jobbers. I just don't see it. I'm super sorry. The land of the giants, pal. With Lance Archer, looking at him right now, I'm going to hire Lance Archer. I absolutely am. And I've put him over a bunch. I know some people are kind of grilling him right now because, like, the Timu McIntyre and stuff. But here's the thing. it's almost not his bad. Like his prime, like where he was sort of the hottest, I guess, or I don't know his prime physically, but just character wise and intimidation wise and all of that was definitely like when AEW began and they didn't pull the trigger with him. It's such an L. I almost don't blame him for it. I don't blame any of these wrestlers really, but yeah, Lance Archer is going to be a big monstrous heel. You know what I mean? For baby faces to overcome. So Jay Lethal. Now, I'm using him mid lower card, like IC title, US title, or I know they don't have that in AEW, so I guess like what are they called? Continental title. Yeah, it's dumb. I know, but he's a guy who's not getting the world title, but he could he could threaten for the world title and it would be believable, but he could also, you know, fight for the mid card and fight kind of the lower guys, beat them, but you know, put the mid card guys that were trying to build up to the world title over as well. You know, that's where I'd put Jay White. So I'm going to hire him. Tony Nese, man, he is a great athlete, but is he a jobber, guys? Is he someone we bring in and say, okay, he can job, and not to like on him at all, but he's good at like being a funny, look at me, look at my abs heel, and then doing a job. He also does have like a lethal moveset, and but we're not marks here. Well, we are Phil Marks, but we're not like booking this based on marks. So I am going to, I'm so sorry, I'm going to fire Tony Nese after much deliberation. FTR, even though he blocked me on X, I am going to hire him. Obviously, FTR, I mean, they can coach tag teams, they can put on great matches. It's just silly that I don't know how how dudes like goes. I don't care if anyone goes to bat for Tony Khan, but just going at like fans, I think is never a good look. Any company that does that, okay, Disney does that. Just look at any company. If Burger King or Taco Bell started being like, "Hey fans, we'd be like, dude." Anyways, Max Caster, I'm signing him. He is the best wrestler alive. I can't speak. And yeah, he's got something about him. He's got charisma. People like the raps. Shibata. Oh boy. I'm hiring. God, it just really depends. I want to hire him as a coach and like a Japan scout, right? And yeah, we're thinking in terms of AEW. I'm going to hire him. He's not going to be speaking with the voice thing and, you know, all of that. He's going to be like scouting people from Japan and things like that. You know, I don't know. Takeshita, that's a no-brainer. Size, speed, strength, explosiveness, age. He's got it all, baby. Yeah. And yeah, that would be a guy I'm developing for sure. Cool Hand Ange or whatever. Buddy, I'm sorry, just hasn't really evolved. Like came in as basically an extension of what he was in NXT, sort of turned into the cool hand guy, which I don't know. And then because he was hooking up with Ruby Soho in real life, they put it on screen. And then I don't know. He's just one of Jericho's boys, I guess. So he's forever got a gig there IRL. So that's cool, but I'm going to fire him. I'm super sorry. I just don't see it. John Moxley, believe it or not, I'm going to hire him. WWE champion. He's one of the craziest. Think about like that guy was WWE champion. That's a wild one. Hey, I heard you were a wild one. But that's kind of crazy to me when you really think about it. He did great stuff. When you look back on the Ambrose stuff, you're like, yeah, that was funny. But at the time, I didn't really get it. You know, and I definitely don't get it now. So maybe I'll look back and be like, yeah, that Neo Moxley stuff was cool, but I don't know. But all the companies put the title on him. You gotta keep Moxley. There's something about him. People do like him. And he's good. It's not like that's why I think people give him just because we know what he can do, but he just chooses not to do the shit. He chooses to blade right in front of the camera. It's like, you don't need to do that, you know? So either way, Luther, I do love. Like, Luther, this is the thing. We're going to hire him just because if it means keeping Tony Storm, and that whole dumb gimmick, but really you could do it with anyone. But if it means keeping her gimmick around and just whatever she's doing working, because it is one of the only good things in AEW, let's be honest, like when you're watching it week to week, I'm going to keep Luther. So Luther. Aaron Solo, I'm sorry, again, just a guy who there's no evolution. Sorry, I just bumped my mic. There's no evolution. There's been no growth. I've seen nothing where I'm like a flash where I'm like, oh yeah, that guy could whatever. So no, I'm going to fire him. Matt Sydal, I'm so sorry. I'm going to release Matt Sydal just because he's up in age. And yeah, again, he's just been like the same dude for a long ass time. And not that he even needs to evolve because he's doing his thing. But flying through this, though, Miro, I mean, we're bringing back Miro. I'm bringing Miro in. I'm bringing him back. I'm going to tell everyone his name is Miroslav Rusev. Miro Rusev. I don't know if that's dumb. And we're bringing back Rusev Day. Of course, this is in our fantasy world, but start Miro Day. Just steal the right. I don't know what else to do. The guy can get over either as just like a beast. When he was doing the video game, it was dumb, but they just got away from that, and it's all good. People like to see him with Lana instead of apart from Lana. And yeah, he came out and fought Cena on a tank. There's nothing, Action Andretti, he's a great hand, but like he's young, and it's not even like I just don't. There's so many guys, like I could keep Sydal, I could keep Taven. There's so many guys who do things better, like sell better than him and like that, although he is athletically impressive, but I'm going to fire him. I'm sorry. Griff Garrison, I'm going to fire. I'm so sorry. I just don't see him getting it. Like, and maybe that's on Tony Khan and their developmental is stupid, but I just don't. There's been no growth from what I've seen, really, and not as like in ring, but just the whole thing, like just how he carries himself. And Lee Moriarty, I'm absolutely hiring, and we're developing this kid, but he's not like the same. Oh, I come out in a tiger mask and I'm like a kung fu Shaolin Wu-Tang guy. That's cool, and like I'm down with it, but we're not doing that anymore. Okay, like we're figuring out there's something to that kid. Everyone sees it, but what? Like put you with the Hurt Business? I don't know. We'll figure it out, but you're on the roster. You can do jobs, make people look good. Angelico, man. Angelico. I'm hiring Angelico. And some of you might be like, oh, come on now, Phil. Why? It's the same thing. He can flip, he can sell, he can technically do all the holds. His like submission style is this like Mexican submission style. He can teach people. I think they have him on the Spanish announce team, and he's like a South African dude. And he doesn't really wrestle. He can teach, he can coach. He's a guy who's in my gym just teaching people like holds that make sense. I know his gimmick is like, oh, I come out there like a rave dancer guy, but that's just it. He understands like being a character is sometimes more important than like he'll go out there, do a little goofy dance and do a job. But meanwhile, really look up his like technical wrestling ability. It's if you just like YouTube it, and he's really good. So that's a guy where I'm looking at like, okay, I'm not, he can do jobs on TV, but he's like training kids. He's in there with some of these coaches showing them like the technical submission side of stuff. And okay, he can do Spanish commentary too. I don't know, right? He's a position player, whatever. He's not making anything bad about AEW as far as I'm aware. The Butcher and the Blade. So this is the Blade, I believe. I'm hiring the Blade. I think the Butcher and the Blade have a great look, especially with the bunny. I think they could be a great heel team. That could be like they grab the belt and like transitional sort of tag team at times. Like, you could put it on them and get heat on them just when you're building something up or whatever, yeah, I definitely like their look and everything. I think there's something there. I'm not sure about age and health. Again, I'd have to look in all that. I think one dude's in like a really successful band. I don't know, but we're just talking AEW here based off of what I think I could book or what I think would benefit the show if they put more focus on someone like that. Luchasaurus, believe it or not, I'm hiring Luchasaurus. but we're like getting rid of all this. You know what I mean? NXT tried to do that with him. I'm so sorry. Google him without his mask. He's like a good looking dude and everything. I'm not even the first person to say that. I think I heard like X-Pac say that or something. So I Googled it, and yeah, he's a guy where it's like, dude, you could build this dude up to be something big. I don't know though. Like his wrestling style, Christian really got him to stop like doing senseless moves. And I'm gonna hire him. If he wants to wear a mask, even that's cool. But we gotta like change the Luchasaurus. Oh, he's kill switch now. That's dumb too, right? We need to figure out like a story, a backstory. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna WWE it up a bit, you know. Kota Ibushi, I'm gonna hire. No, I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm gonna fire Kota Ibushi right now, just because he probably costs us money, and I'm the biggest Ibushi fan. I was a mark in all the viral New Japan clip days. Okay, trust me, I'm watching them all. He just is worse now, and I mean that with all due respect. Like the man has done some of the craziest in pro wrestling in Japan and stuff, but we see him once in a while. Seems like he gets hurt, and yeah, I wish him the best, but it's just he can't do what he used to do, and now the like allure's gone, the aura's gone, if you will, you know. So, and it's like I don't even need him coaching. I don't want him teaching people to do this he did, because they shouldn't do this he did, you know. So, Ibushi, love you, buddy. You gotta go. Big Bill, Large William is definitely hired, and if Enzo is on this list, I'm hiring him too, and I'm putting them together. Who would you hire as your Dolph Ziggler? So I'm glad you asked that, because I was going to make the comparison like Jay White or Jay Lethal could be like a Dolph Ziggler type character. Not even character, pardon me, that's the wrong word. Type wrestler, where you know, they could win the world title. Maybe they even get in WWE, they have the world heavyweight title and the WWE title. And then when you leave WWE, it's like, oh, they were world champion. But those aren't really the same. We know that world title's like one beneath the WWE as far as like pecking order, right? It'll always be that way. And so there's some guys who like, yeah, they get their hands on that world heavyweight, but they never get the WWE, which is like that really the next level, you know. That's what Jay White and Jay Lethal could be, if we're going to put it in the, like, they could maybe win the world heavy, maybe not Lethal, but like White could win the heavy, but they might not ever get that WWE, but they could threaten for it. They could, like a Nakamura, you know, a Dolph Ziggler, one of those guys, like they're always a threat. They could just sneak in and beat you for the belt. But yeah, that's who I'd pick. Thank you for the super chat and the question. I love that question. So moving along, Kyle Fletcher. Now, believe it or not, I'm hiring Fletcher. Okay? I'm hiring him. This picture's a little dated. He's got the shaved head, which I think is a better look. And yeah, he was cutting a good promo on Dynamite, and his fans were chanting, "Wrap it up." Or like the AEW fans were chanting, "Wrap it up" at him, dude, when he was actually doing some promo work where I was like kind of getting invested in it. So it's crazy. Is that his bad? Probably, with his wrestling style, you know, that's what they expect of him. But you could develop him, man. This is a kid that like could be an NXT champion one day. Probably won't ever do that because he's going to probably stay in AEW forever. But yeah, I'm going to hire him. Christian Cage, of course, he's one of the only things like going in AEW, even though he's getting tiresome. The whole dad stuff, we don't care anymore. Figure it out. Break that group up. Figure out what you got to do. Pit Kip against Nick, you know. Bang the mom already. I don't know, but just figure it out and get it done, because that whole dad it's run its course, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna hire Christian though, just to teach promo class at the very least. I want the AEW wrestlers to embrace the grind. Yeah, if you guys notice, the people I'm picking are based on like who I think will benefit the long term and immediate, because you need people who are going to benefit you immediately, but then you need people who are going to benefit you in the long term too, right? Oh, your cake and eat it too. Yeah, that's how we're booking it here, because it's all just fantasy. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, all of our guys will embrace the grind, because we're instantly doing 2 house shows a week. AR Fox, he's a longtime vet. Yes, he trains people. He teaches them the moves and all of that. I'm gonna fire him. He's not good at selling. It's like for as long as he's been in the business, I just don't see him as a dude that. And I'm not even burying him because like I've seen some of his matches where you're like, holy, this guy goes nuts. But it's just like the things that matter to me, the nuances of like the selling and how to pace some of this. I just feel like he's been in the game so long. This dude here, I forget these guys' names. They are the Righteous though. I'm hiring them. Great tag team. Now I know it's like, okay, you have the Butcher and the Blade, and you have these Righteous dudes in your tag division. Okay, are we going full on spooky here? I think their gimmicks are different enough. And I'm actually kind of doing what Tony Khan was doing a bit there. Like, I'm starting the Righteous with the Lance Archer, and it's like this whole new, and like Archer's like this dude who doesn't speak. He's like the Braun Strowman of this Wyatt family, if you will. Like, just this big dude who is just menacing and like in this cult or whatever. I'm building it. I'm putting hot ladies around them, and I'm going full in, like, let's just go Manson with this, So I'm behind. Whereas like the Butcher and the Blade are more like, I don't know, steampunk, whatever. I don't even know if that's the right thing. There's a name for vaudevillain. Is that the right? I don't know. Whatever it is. Dustin Rhodes, they say he's a free agent, chat. So I don't know if it's fair to do, if we should just fire him because he's not. But if I'm like AEW and I have the option, I'm going to keep him hired, obviously, right? So we'll put him on here, but he's not in AEW apparently, but he's still on their website. I looked it up. He's still their ROH 6-man tag champs with the Von Erichs as well, I believe. So Brody King, I'm hiring him for sure. And again, the spooky guys. Yeah, we can expand the House of Black. Like the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny could be in the House of Black, and we could keep all that in one, and then the cult stuff separate. Because that cult gimmick can turn into a babyface thing down the line where people get behind it. It happened with the Wyatts. So the House of Black, though, Brody King's a big bad monster. I mean, he does great work. I love his work. Josh Woods, he's a real good shooter. Again, there's something, he's been doing this a while and it just doesn't click. So I'm sorry, but you're getting fired and I'm not giving it more explanation than that. Good. He's decent, but it's not clicking, bro. Sting, obviously, just to sell t-shirts and to stand up in the rafters at the pay-per-view or whatever. He's the Undertaker of our AEW type. This gentleman here, I believe he's Nightmare Factory. I could be wrong. Sorry, I don't know all the names off the top of my head. It's out of order from my reference here that I have when I uploaded it to tiermaker.com, folks. So shout them out as well. I'm sorry, I'm letting you go because the roster's bloated. This gentleman here as well, I believe this is Davari. I'm letting you go, buddy. Roster's bloated. Daniel Garcia, and this isn't even me being a hater at all, but or are we I don't know. If we're talking like I have full control and I get to make a cruiserweight division, I'm going to keep Garcia, chat, okay? But if we're talking like just what I would do, like Tony's still booking everything, but you pick who's hired or fired, I'm firing Garcia. But since this whole time I've been sort of hiring people based on like how I would start doing things to make a change in AEW, I'm actually going to keep Garcia and like I'm going to have a cruiserweight division. And I'm sorry, Chris Connors and everyone who doesn't like that. It's what's happening. Mr. Brody Lee, do I fire him? No, that's sadistic and sick. Sorry, he's on their website. So we're going to hire Mr. Brody Lee, of course. Let's just say he's still alive and RIP legend. I'm going to hire him and keep him hired. Yeah. Sammy Guevara, I'm so sorry, buddy. You're gone. Over Garcia. Yeah, some people might be like, oh, come on now, Phil. No, Guevara is not improved. He doesn't know how to get over. When he's a baby face and the crowd kind of gives him some, on them, he does some cocky, dumb, sticks out his tongue. And then when they're booing him, he's always like, I work too damn hard and you guys, like I come out here and I do it because I love this thing. And it's like, bro, you don't know what the you're doing. You don't know whether to be heel or baby face. He just doesn't know what he's doing. So Mark Quinn, I'm definitely keeping him, and I'm keeping Private Party. I don't know if I'm putting the tag belts on them this late into things because you basically made him a jobber team, but good for him. And yeah, he has something great athleticism, a look, regardless if it's like kind of a Street Profits rip off, if you will, or it's not really, but it kind of early Street Profits, I think, was more like, hey, we're party guys, you know, with the whole Red Cup stuff. Now they're more serious, but yeah, either way. Kyle O'Reilly. This one's tough for me, folks. I'm keeping Kyle O'Reilly. I'm going to hire Kyle O'Reilly. We have a junior heavyweight division. If we can, we're putting the Undisputed Era back together. Oh, come on now, Phil. It's just WWE Light. I know they're already doing it, though. Would you guys not want to see the Undisputed Era booked properly and where Bobby Fish isn't crying about doing jobs for CM Punk? Yeah, I would. So, I mean, I'm going to keep him, you know, tag team division / cruiserweight division. There's a lot to be learned there. Brian Cage, God damn, he's getting up there in age. I'm gonna keep Brian Cage. Again, it's the land of the giants. Like, we're building up a heavyweight division. I'm gonna keep Brian Cage, and he's gonna be treated as a threat. Again, he's a guy that, does he get the world title? Maybe, but he's definitely a gatekeeper. Like, you get past him, and you know, the sky's the limit for you. So also, like, as he gets a bit older, he could really teach guys. Like, he did every style you could think of, and he's a solid hand. WWE's wanted him for a long time too, and there's a reason Tony Khan keeps paying him a lot to stay there. This gentleman here, of course, he's going to be with his tag partner. I explained it. Johnny Mundo. I'm going to fire Johnny Mundo. They probably pay him quite a bit. I love him, but let's be honest, man. Watch his in AEW. He's like botching or Ring of Honor, I guess. They just have him in Ring of Honor. He's botching all the time. He's just not there. He stays in great athletic condition, but he's getting up there in age, and he's just like, you can tell, he just doesn't give a, you know, and that's fine. He doesn't have to. He's given us his body, and he doesn't have to. Edge, I'm hiring Edge. And yeah, I'm dropping all the baby daddy with Christian, and I'm putting Edge and Christian together one more time for one last like Legends run at the tag titles. And then, you know, maybe you get a double retirement match from them both, like against each other in the end, or against a team or something like that. Who knows? But yeah, that's definitely going down. Billy Gunn in AEW. Geez. Do you keep him with the Acclaimed? I mean, the people, I don't, the whole daddy ass thing and all that, I think it played its course. But again, are we talking a coach? Yeah, we're coaching. He's on a coach's deal, a producer. He's not on screen scissoring dudes. I'm sorry. You know, he looks great. I love Billy Gunn. I'm one of the biggest DX marks. I love Billy and Chuck. Used to pop me so hard, dude, when I was younger. I would laugh hysterically at their, and I'm a huge Billy Gunn fan. I'm going to hire him. He's going to be a producer or something, though. It's not going to be on screen. The Young Bucks, ooh. Now, everything tells me, honestly, to hire them. And some people would be like, you're being disingenuous if you don't hire them. But it's like, I don't think so, man. I think that just people don't want to see them on TV. So, okay, hire them to like coach tag teams. And are we just hiring a million coaches that don't, right? Like, who do they have in NXT? They got like Regal, Bloom, Michaels. Like, they don't got tag teams coaching. And so, like, I do want to keep them, but I just think they'd be toxic. And I'm sorry. Like, I think they just things up and get in the way their own way. So, yeah, I'm firing the Young Bucks. And some people might say that but I'm not, and I've put them over in the past. I'm firing the Young Bucks. Wheeler Yuta, again, we got a cruiserweight division, young guys, Billy Kidman, Chavo, Rey Mysterio. Y'all remember that? Yeah, let's go. Yuta could be one of those guys if he's presented as one of those guys, not like, oh, I'm a real serious dude trying to, you know. I know his personality sucks. I think we could work on that. You could put him with someone who's put him in a mask. He could do something better. Brian Keith, I'm hiring. He's a dude I'm hiring, and I'm letting him do his own thing and starting like a little bounty club faction or something like that, you know, bounty hunter faction. He's not with Jericho and some learning tree. That's dumb. Brody Lee Jr. Okay. Now, in our world, Brody Lee Sr. is not RIP. He's like working, and so we're going to hire him. Even if he is RIP, we're going to hire him, but whatever. We're not going to hire this kid, but if it's like real life, yes. If I had $1 billion and his dad passed away and he was wrestling for my company, I would give that kid money for the rest of my life too. I legitimately would do it if I could, like Tony Khan. But yeah, I'm gonna let him go. Preston Vance. Now this is a Cody Rhodes kid, and I'm gonna hire him. Because he really takes the craft seriously of pro wrestling, even though he's with the Dark Order for a while. They just did that to keep him under a mask. I'm going to hire him and develop him, and he's going to do stuff in NXT. You know what I mean? Juice Robinson is a hire no matter what. He could do whatever, solo, tag, whatever. Ray Phoenix, tag with his brother. Of course you're hiring Ray Phoenix. There's no question. I'm hiring the Gun Boys to just be there. You want to develop these kids as well. And also, if I have the book, man, we have one show, Dynamite, and then we have a B show, and then a developmental that's taking place at a Daly's place that isn't on TV at all. We're filming it all, but it's not on TV. And some of these guys are going there. And it's not Ring of Honor. Okay, that's a separate thing. Anyways, the Beast Mortis, he's solid, but damn, I just don't see it's now we're getting overpopulated. You know what I mean? With dudes with masks too. Like there can be so many. He's a solid hand, but just I'm sorry, bud. Like you're in between Lucha and like big burly beast guy. We have big burly beasts, we got Luchas, This Smart Mark Sterling, I'm keeping him as he can be a mouthpiece for people who can't really talk, so I'm keeping him, believe it or not. Mike Bennett, again, it's like the Taven thing, right? Like he's a solid hand. I just think like his run in Impact was good. His time with WWE was what it was. They didn't really do much. It's not that he isn't good. No, see, I got to split them up. This is like a lower mid guy is Bennett, honestly. Like he can get people over. I'm sorry Taven gets left behind, but there's just guys with that same look and the same sort of moves. I think Bennett's a guy who just can get guys over by doing jobs and selling really well. Ricochet, ooh, this is tough. God, and I'm a fan of Ricochet. I think with a cruiserweight division, he's like the face of it. Now he would probably be like, "Oh, what?" But he's the face of it. Sanjay Dutt, I'm releasing. I'm sorry, he's just too goofy on TV. The Butcher, I'm keeping, for sure, with his tag partner, and the Bunny if she's on here as well. Hologram now. I do put the gimmick over, and I like that AEW's doing more like of their own IP, but like we got Ray Phoenix, and so I'm sorry, Hologram, you're gonzo, Hook we're keeping, we're developing him more, but we need to see more from him. Trent Beretta, I'm sorry, you're gone. He's been gone for a long time, it seems like. MJF, we're going to keep MJF. You guys know why. We're presenting him as not like, hey, I'm Kaniki MJF. We're presenting him as like OG MJF. Roderick Strong, we're keeping, of course, the United, the Undisputed Era or whatever. We're going to have them all together again. And yeah, just tag teaming, not doing the dumb Adam, all that. Chucky T, he's gone. I don't even know how he still has a job. Alex Abrahantes, we're keeping him to manage luchas, although Jose, the assistant, is superior. But I do like Abrahantes. He does a great job with the Lucha Bros. And yeah, we're keeping him to manage Samoa Joe. I mean, come on, my favorite wrestler. Him versus Gunther is like my dream match right now. So yeah, Joe, of course. That's like our world champion, right there fighting off like Keith Lee and Lance Archer and all these guys, That's him right there. Colt Cabana. I mean, guys, who would chat? Would you here? I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Okay. Would you keep would you hire the Young Bucks? That's what I want to ask you guys. And be honest, like don't be funny, because I know like, and even though it is funny that I'm even asking this, but would you guys poll in the chat? Make sure you go and participate in that. Hopefully it worked. I don't know. I need to refresh my thing here. Is there a poll in the chat? In fact, you guys let me know. Yeah, vote on that. I just see it 100% no right away. Okay, so Matt Jackson, Gonzo. Sorry, buddy. You and Colt go start a new Fed. Swerve, we're keeping. That's a no-brainer. To me, he's again, is he my world champion? And I don't know, but the guy handles criticism well, and I don't like him being like, oh yeah, Tony Khan lets me do whatever I want. And I'd be like, bro, don't say, okay. Scorpio Sky, I'm keeping, man. He is injury prone, and I'm so sorry. I'm a fan of you, Scorpio. We're getting bloated, baby. Oh, I'm a fan of Scorpio Sky. God damn it. It's my company. No, we honest to God, though, I'd look at the papers and it's like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'd have to let you go. Like, I'm worried you're going to get hurt again, bro. But he's so good. Of course, we're going to keep FTR. Cash is going to stay. They make sense. Darby Allin with a cruiserweight division in that. We're going to keep Darby, he's not going to be jumping through all the time. It's going to be like, and I know people be like, oh, he only does it at the pay-per-views. Well, exactly. Every pay-per-view match, he does some silly. We're gonna protect him and his gimmick a bit. We're not gonna let him speak so much. He's gonna be like a mysterious emo kid, and kind of go back to that a bit. And I know some people might be like, that's regressing, but it's really not. I think he's been a little overexposed with his stunts and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Cruiserweight division, he's in it. I see it. Stokely, I think, is a great mouthpiece. We're going to hire him. He could do like backstage interviews even or something. I don't know. I think he's good as like a manager, though. Just talking on commentary, he's funny. Pac, we're hiring Pac, of course, cruiserweight division or beyond that. He could be an intercontinental champion or what do they call it? The international chair, whatever, right? He's a guy we're keeping. Okada, I'm sorry. I'm such an Okada fan, too. He's like Ibushi. You cost too much and you don't give a anymore. I'm firing. You're fired. I'm sorry. I'm firing him, dude. This guy here, Bishop Khan or whatever, he's hired, man. The guy just, my word, if he was in WWE, they'd put his ass in the bloodline. That's for sure. Like, he's just a giant rippling dude. And I don't know if he's like Tongan or Samoan at all. I believe that's like what him and his tag partners sort of thing is. But yeah, I'm keeping this dude for sure. Angel Ortiz, he's going to go because he's still not doing and he got into a physical fight with his tag partner Santana, who's tearing it up in TNA because Angel, and I'm not on Angel, he's in the best shape of his life. He can, I'm not hating on his decision to be like, bro, I'm down to just sit and not take bumps and get paid, and Santana was like, no, dude, we can be more than that. And they got into like a physical fight. It sucks because them as a tag team is awesome. But if Angel's like, yeah, I'm just down to get the check, whatever, that's just like, I don't know. We don't need that, Buddy Matthews, I'm hiring for sure. We're keeping House of Black around just in general. They look like real intimidating dudes, Will Ospreay. This one's tough for me. Just his, I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? Will Ospreay, will he embrace the grind? Because we're doing 2 house shows a week. We're getting rid of the other TV shows. We're doing 1 TV show, 2 to 3 hours long. And then we're doing 2 house shows a week minimum to start. And then maybe we do like a YouTube show, like a dark. We bring that back just for YouTube because that was a great concept. And then we're hiring Aunt Evans as well. And then, we're grinding a bit here. So is he just like his attitude now? Bruv, I just want the contract, $8 million. and he's going to start on this company because we had house shows or what? I don't know. I'm going to hire him. But I'm saying this, what I'm telling you right now, Chad, is something I'm telling him when we're negotiating, I'm saying this to his face, like, here, this is what we expect. Danhausen, of course, for the cruiserweight division, just a jobber dude who comes in and pops the crowd and, just can take the fall, or he gets over because he is very popular and Eddie wins the title, but he's definitely in. Matt Menarda, Daddy Magic Taste. I'm sorry you're gone, bud. There's just nothing for you there. Bowens we're hiring. We're keeping him with the Acclaimed, of course. He's, of course, the better worker, I'd say, of the two. Evil Uno, I'm sorry, bud. It just doesn't click for me. It hasn't evolved. It's been the same. No one really, it doesn't work, anymore. The Super Smash Bros. Thing, whatever, that's done. Kenny Omega. We're, of course, hiring Kenny, right? And we're giving him his run. Like, he's the going on his last run of title defenses with the belt and all of that. He gets beat, puts someone over, and that's sort of like Kenny's role in all of this. And then he's a coach or not even coach. He can do his video game stuff, whatever, but he is a popular dude, like, people like him. I like him too. And if we're doing it AEW style, the way Phil would do it, I don't know. I think Kenny and WWE would be awesome. I think they would really get him to hone in on, like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. People disagree, but I don't know. I think I'm right about that one. I've been wrong, but I think I'm right about that one. Anyways, this John Silver dude, I am actually keeping him for the cruiserweight division because he's like a little mini powerhouse cruiserweight guy. It makes sense, I'm keeping him around. Lance Archer can squash him in a minute on like our Sunday Night Heat show or our YouTube show or whatever. But he's also a guy that can, have matches, and he doesn't do like flips and everything. He's like a different look for the cruiserweights. Kip Sabian, I'm sorry, bud. It's just, you got to go, we're just, roster's bloated. I don't even hate you that much. I think you're a good worker and you got a good look, but yeah, it just doesn't, business-wise, don't make sense. Ricky Starks, of course. Like, what are we talking about here? It's a goddamn travesty. He's not on TV. Commander, I'm sorry, bud. We got Ray Phoenix. We got cruiserweights. We got guys with masks and face paint. He's decent. I mean, he could be a good cruiser jobber, but Mystico or Dralistico or whichever Istico has to go. All right, so he's your Dralistico in the out of here, and love you, bud. I know Dave thinks you're a megastar, but again, we got Ray Phoenix. We don't need 10 guys who do the same. Brandon Cutler, I just don't even understand how you still have a job. Again, this whole Young Bucks toxic, that's all going. Adam Cole, baby's sticking around for sure, and I'm not saying we're booking him in world title contention, but mid, cruiserweight, lower tag team, that works. Malachi Black, of course, we already said it. I explained the House of Black, and he's the best guy in the group. Wardlow, of course, we're keeping, right? Briscoe, of course, we're keeping him as well. Now, he's a guy, he's like a mid-card dude. When he finally gets his hands on that international belt, the crowd's like, oh, that's like his world title moment. And he can get up to the world title, but not quite get his hands on it, but he's like a mid-lower guy for sure. This is that Bishop guy's tag partner. I'm keeping this guy. He's like Umaga. I don't know what to do with him, but as far as like him and this dude are in a tag team, and they're these crazy Samoans who don't even talk, and they have a mouthpiece. I'm booking that all the way. Jack Perry, I'm so sorry, bro. And this isn't even like biased hatred. It's just like I do like that he lets like Rush beat the shit, but he just seems like a toxic dick, bro. I just wouldn't want it. It's just to that entitled. We don't need that, in our AEW, in Phil Marks's AEW, we just don't need it. Michael Nakazawa, yeah, you're gone, buddy. I don't like he does put on funny comedy matches. Like, some of those are funny, but we just don't need all that. We got Danhausen can be funny. We got a few guys here who can be funny. already. So we don't need you being like another funny guy, you know. Eddie Kingston. Ooh. This one's tough. I'm going to let Eddie Kingston go. I think he gets in his own way too much. I think he had everybody loving him, and I actually am a fan of the dude, but you just see how again, it's like he just has those matches with those dudes where it's so sloppy, and you're just like, bro, come on. Like, you are better than that. And that's sort of like why Claudio had beef with him in real life, and Danielson, and I think Punk as well. Like, people in real life back then were like, dude, Kingston, like, work out and do your damn, like, you're better than this, and I just see, I don't know. I think he's just not, I wouldn't hire him. If it was me. Serpentico, is that his name? Serpentico. Again, just like a masked random jobber. I mean, we got a masked dude. Not saying we can't have like another masked dude, but like, do we need it? I don't know. Do we bring him in when we're in town and we need a jobber? Yeah, but it's not like I'm hiring him on my roster. Roosh is a hands down hire. That's a no question for me. Yeah. I mean, he should be. It should be like him and Takeshita going at it for the international title. This gentleman here, who is this? I don't even know who this is. So, is that one of the? I'm sorry, you're gone. I'm not even sure who that is. Jeff Jarrett, of course, a coach, a GM, a position player, training guys, his connections, all of that stuff. Conrad Thompson, Nick Wayne. Ooh, see, this is tough. We're developing guys, right? I'm so sorry you got to go. We got a hook. We got guys who can kind of flip and stuff. I'm so sorry. Call us when you're like 25, or call us when you're like 24, and you got some more rounds in. I just don't really see it. I kept Fletcher already. You're pretty much the same thing. So, Top Flight, I'm actually keeping them. They're like a flippy cruiserweight job tag team, and that's it. They're not, maybe Stokely can manage them if they want to go heel, but they're just a team that can do jobs, and I'm keeping them around. Did I actually nix off Leo Rush by accident? I'm not sure here. Sorry, this was all out of order. I would keep Leo Rush, though, by the way. I'm not sure if I no, I don't think I did. Anyways, Chris Jericho. Now, this one's tough, man. He's a lot of money, but he is a legend. We want IP. We do want like some legends we can bring out and stuff. Is he be in the learning tree and all that? No. Are we going to overexpose him every week? No. But yes, we're keeping Chris Jericho. Hangman Page, I am going to keep him. Even though he's one of the Bucks' friends. He does have solid matches. Yeah, let's say we ever do a brand split, he's like a Dolph Ziggler. Someone asked me earlier. Claudio as well. I got to keep Claudio. Okay. He's just a solid hand. And I know we're getting into like, damn, it's getting bloated there, Phil. I know. And that's the problem when you're dealing with 200 guys or whatever. But yeah, Claudio, I'm keeping eyes on him. And again, we have an international title. Why the f is he not in that conversation? Bandito. We're keeping Bandito again, a cruiserweight division. A Lucha, I do see him like he's better than a Serpentico. Him and Ray Phoenix, WCW had more than one masked guy. I'm not hating on masked guys, and I know I keep saying that. Oh, we already have a masked guy, but it's like I knew Bandito was coming up eventually, and he's a guy I'm gonna keep. He's just a solid pro wrestler to where you got to keep him. This guy's the Top Flight brother. So yeah, again, just jobber comes in. Private Party, I think this is Zay. He comes in, of course. Nana, will keep him as well as like a manager, backstage guy. We're hiring a lot of people here now, but he's definitely, just that purring, that pairing with Swerve is great. We have the Gunn brother here, Colton Gunn. We got to keep him. We got his brother, Bobby Lashley. Now, they didn't have his picture on the website when I went to do this, so I had to download my own. He looks like Morpheus here. Red pill or blue pill? I'm going to keep Lashley, obviously, but like what he wants to get paid, and we're going to have to talk about, but yes, I'm keeping Lashley, obviously. Ty Conti, I'm sorry, you got to go. We're into the women now. Okay. So that was the men, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So that's the men of AEW. We are into the women now. Ty Conti, I am firing her. I'm sorry. I just don't think she's gotten it after a long time. Real good shooter in that. I know she's got a nice booty in that, but it's just not enough for me. Red Velvet as well. She has not improved at all. Like at all. I can't do it. And I like her look and everything, but she just hasn't improved. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. Maybe I think she needs like NXT training. She'd do great. Kiera Hogan, I'm keeping. She's like a jobber girl, a mid-lower girl. I'm keeping her. Britt Baker, believe it or not, I'm keeping Britt. Again, we're doing house shows. She's staying sharp. When she was actually wrestling all the time, she was decent. But now she never wrestles. They put her in these high-profile matches, and then she just looked like she can't wrestle. So again, that's Tony Khan's bad, right? If we're fantasy mark booking here and I have the pen, then that's not happening. Abaddon, I am keeping. That's a heel right there. People don't like her. I know that people give her for a bit of her greenness. When she's been in there with people like Sheeta, she can put on some decent matches. People who are more experienced. She's a spooky heel. I'm going to keep her. Her and Danhausen could do some weird. Her and House of Black. I don't know. Figure it out, but I'm keeping her. Thunder Rosa. We're keeping Thunder Rosa, of course. She's like our women's champion. Crazy how they fumbled her. Yuka Sakazaki, she's a decent hand. You guys are like, Huka Sakazaki? I know, but I'm sorry, we're letting her go. Like, Tony's just had a boner for her since day one. Like, she's been in the game before all these other names that should have been in the game. Like, I don't know. She's never been on TV, maybe 10 times. So, yeah, we're letting her go. Right here, Hikaru Shida, we're keeping Shida. She is a great wrestler, and I don't care what anybody says. She's like one of the top girls there. Is this Madison Rain or Valkyrie here? No, she's down there. Yeah, so this is like Madison Rain or whoever they brought in from TNA. I'm sorry, I'm firing her. She's supposed to be like a women's coach or something. She was in a couple tag matches. We've never heard from her since, really. So letting her go. Camille, we're keeping absolutely without question. And we're booking her way better. Who knows if you can ever get it back. Diamante, I'm keeping as well. She's a tremendous hand to just do jobs and make people look good. I'm definitely keeping her. If Thunder Rosa goes heel, that could be her gooner or something, Deonna Purrazzo, we're keeping her as well. She's a great wrestler. We're not fumbling her. Mercedes Moné. This is where it gets tricky, right, chat? Mercedes Moné. And this, some people might be like, oh, come on now, Phil. But no, it's proven. She doesn't get ratings. She wants all this money. I don't know. I'm releasing Mercedes Moné. I'm firing her, dude. Like, her matches haven't been good. She hasn't lived up to the hype. All of her characters just sucked. Her promos just sucked. Her backstage just sucked. She's buried Camille. I don't know. I'm letting Moné go, bro. If I'm looking at that contract, I'm like, you're gone. This might shock people too. Mercedes Martinez, I believe, is her name. What? I'm so sorry. Did I just her name up? Whatever. She's gone. She's still too green for how long she's been in the business for me. And I get it. People love her. She's gone. I'm sorry. That might sound harsh, but it is what it is. Saraya. We're keeping her. The Rock made a movie about her life. She just signed a 1-year deal with AEW. If I can sign her for 1 year, I'm keeping her. I don't know. She doesn't need to wrestle. We can figure things out. And her wrestling's not the worst, but like talk about someone who could be coaching and stuff like that, Saraya. I think we have Rebby over here. Now, she's been dealing with some health stuff, but honestly, I'm keeping Rebby. That's a coach. That's a girl who helps the ladies backstage, keeps their morale up, makeup, all that sort of. She pairs well with Baker. She doesn't need to be on TV. She can come out, do a job. She's just a girl. We're keeping her. You know what I mean? Layla Hirsch. She is a decent hand, and she has a different look in that, but we're just talking the wrestlers are getting bloated here. You know, the roster's getting bloated. I'm sorry, Layla, you gots to go, but decent wrestler, you know, but like a shoot wrestler, but there's too many other women that are, you know, we're going to keep on this thing. Harley Cameron. I'm going to keep her, and she's going to be a valet, and then she can wrestle sometimes, but yeah, she's a girl we definitely keep who's just got she can work, you know. They put her in matches that are a little too long, but she's one of those ladies that will just sort of do what you need her to do, and I think that's valuable, you know. And I could see her pairing well with some like a team or something, and she can talk well and things like that. Nyla Rose. Now we have Camille as like a heater, so I'm trying to just skim through the women. Who else do we have here? See, it's tough, man. It's like you do need a couple with like heater women, right? And I'm skimming through. I'm gonna keep Nyla Rose, okay? And the reason being is that we need like someone who can step up to Camille and be like, oh, you know. So Nyla's gonna be that, and you know, the promo game isn't bad, doesn't hurt people, and you know, by all accounts, the solid work just got shoved down to ROH. So I don't know what happened there. Athena is like our women's world champion, and it's like her and Thunder Rosa. You know, Athena's like our tippy top women's wrestler. Karen Jarrett, if it means keeping Jeff, we're gonna hire Karen Jarrett again. We're getting bloated now. It's a problem. I know it's a problem in wrestling in general, but we're keeping Karen if it means keeping Jeff. Is this Marina Shafir? You're gonzo. I'm sorry, just bad promos. Her new thing with Mox is kind of cool, where she's just the intimidating badass like heater chick, but I think it's too little too late. They overexposed her. They put her in a weird hat, and then she cut a horrible promo. She did the barefoot thing where she'd like take her socks off and stuff, which was cool. It was kind of shootish, but she's just not a great wrestler. And she is Roderick Strong's wife, but we're already keeping Karen Jarrett, so we're not. Yeah. Julia Hart, who had a tremendous vignette on Collision, I implore you all to check out. We're keeping Julia, absolutely. She gets it. Years and years of development to do with her down the line, and she already understands the whole character work aspect. So, you know, just keep her healthy, and yeah. Mariah May, I mean, come on, we have to keep Mariah May. She's like one of the thirst cast, you know. Tony Storm, we talked about it with Lutha. We got to keep her. She's one of the only reasons to watch the goddamn show. Now we're getting into like vet territory, and I've put Emi Sakura over on this show a bunch of times. She's like a veteran. She's in like her late 40s or mid 40s. Sorry if I'm sorry. You don't speculate on ladies' age. And she'd be a great coach, and I do want to say keep her as a coach, but we're getting bloated now, you know, and I'm sorry, Emmy. I am a fan. Like, don't get it twisted, but I'd have to just let you go. And the reason being is because Serena Deeb's here, and we're going to keep her to coach. You know, she's a solid hand as well, and she's the professor. And like, if we didn't have a Deeb, Sakura would be someone I'd be like, all right, we need her to coach, but it's Deeb. You know, she's got to be the veteran hand. Anna Jay, we're absolutely keeping, and you guys know why. And she's like, she can wrestle, sure, but she's gonna, you know what I mean? We're bringing sexy back. Tony Khan don't know how to act. For real, we're bringing sexy back in AEW. So Anna Jay, of course. Hater, we're going to keep her as well. She's awesome. And yeah, she's like a mid upper card woman, you know, and we're keeping her. Ruby Soho, destination unknown. Except for you got to go. I'm so sorry. She's I am a big Ruby Soho fan, actually. And I just don't I don't know. I don't know if she's like past that prime era when she was in WWE or what. When she first came into AEW, I was really interested, and the crowd just didn't fully get behind it. And then I don't know what they did. She joined the group with Saraya, which I did like, but then they just sort of botched the booking of all of that. And yeah, I just let her go. We got enough women. It's just a matter of like we're getting bloated. And I know some people might be like, you're gonna keep Abaddon and not so. Yeah, because like Soho, like we got enough solid hands in that, right? Statlander, I'm hiring for sure. We're investing in her, right? We're doing better than we're not just turning her baby face and heel out of nowhere for no reason. Sky Blue, we're keeping her. You guys know why as well. And she actually is a solid wrestler. We're not slamming her in the thumbtacks. And Layla Gray, we're keeping her, believe it or not. She's already down to valet. She did great work with Jade Cargill as one of the baddies. She does great work in OVW. She's a position player, and she looks great. And yeah, Riho, Rigo. I'm so sorry, and I'm not. You don't offend me. Riho doesn't offend me. I look at it like ninja, But I just no, the roster's like we got enough people, and I just you don't. I I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't want to pull a Cornette here and just start, but it is what it is. Willow, we're of course keeping. Like she's like our Bailey. She just gets over, you know. Penelope Ford, a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. She's gonna go. I'm sorry. It's just like she's drop dead gorgeous. But I mean, we got good wrestlers. We got ladies with looks already, So I'm so sorry. Nick Wayne's mom, you're gonna go too. I'm so like her as a manager, I'm not mad at, but she's like taller than a lot of the wrestlers and shit. It's like you gotta go, and we're keeping some of those shorties in the cruiserweight division, but you gotta go. Queen Aminata, we're keeping without question. I mean, she's amazing in my opinion, dude. She's like give her in the next. She's got to get to NXT, but the next 5 years, we're gonna really see her blossom. Taya. Now this one's tough for me. God damn. We're gonna keep her because she can do jobs and stuff. I know it's a little bloated, and I know we didn't even keep Johnny Mundo, her husband, but this is where you can go like our women's division is stacked like and present her as one of like those top 6 to 8 like look at these women on our roster, so yeah, I'm gonna keep her on there. I see it. Alicia Atout. Now we're into broadcasting and refs. We're almost done, folks. Broadcasting and refs. Alicia Tout. I'm sorry, I don't see it. Just the charisma and that's not there. Like they already have Lexi Nair and stuff who are more entertaining than her, and she got a job because she's MJF's wife. I'm gonna say no to her. This lady here, I'm unfamiliar. I'm gonna say no to her. Nigel McGuinness. You're cut. You're cool. Nigel McGuinness. We're going to keep Nigel. Okay. We're going to keep Nigel. Because he's awesome. This gentleman here, I think he might be on the Spanish announce team. I'm unfamiliar with him, so we're going to drop him over here. Sorry if he's like the best Spanish announcer ever. I'm unfamiliar. You guys can let me know in the comments if that's unfair. Satnam Singh is in the commentary section. We're just going to fire Satnam Singh. Like, what the, he hasn't developed that much. They're not doing anything with him, and he was in the broadcast section. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, buddy. You're gone. You want to be a broadcaster? No. Renee Young, we're going to keep her. She's good at her job, and she can do the panelish. Justin Roberts, God damn. I'm so sorry. I'm going to fire Justin Roberts. I'm just not a fan of his, like, ring announcing, really. Good old JR, Jim Ross. We're going to keep him, of course. This gentleman here, I'm sorry now if I'm up names. We're gonna keep this guy here as well. Okay, I believe he does Spanish announce stuff. Rick Abani, he's on the AEW stuff. We are gonna keep Rick Abani, even though he was a weirdo allegedly to Kevin Kelly, but he is great at his job. So some people are like, no, but I think he's like a Michael Cole. Like he's professional enough. Holy shit, I got a bunch of chats. I'm so sorry. Dude, PWT should hold a fantasy draft as a PLE. So after your hired list is complete, you're going to have renegotiate all the contracts, have to make a profit sometime. Yeah, everybody's renegotiating, by the way, George. Some of chat, and I think that after your hires are complete, a second round of fires would do it for the final roster. No, there's no second round of fires. There's none of that, okay? There's only who I'm keeping, and then we're gonna do a tier list so you guys can determine. Like the next video, George, is like I'm gonna tier them S to D, right? So like the D people, okay, they could get cut, any given Sunday, right? The S people are who we're paying, who we're investing in, who we're pushing. That's another video, okay? Thank you so much for the super chats, and I'm sorry I didn't see these guys. I will acknowledge me. Okay. So yeah, and you guys keep note of it because I'm gonna screen grab these as well. We're not gonna forget mine here. So Alex Abrahantes, you're cut, buddy. Okay, you're gonzo. Just because he just has no charisma. Lexi Nair, I put her over. She's awesome. We're gonna keep her. Big Bill's wife as well. And I think that's her name. And I'm so sorry if I names up, guys. My reference here is not alphabetical. Like when I uploaded the pictures, they came up in the right sections, but not the right alphabetical order. This guy here, I forget his goddamn name. We're keeping him. He reminds me of Howard Finkel, and that's our ring announcer till we hire Samantha Irvin, who's not on this list. Excalibur's gone. I'm sorry. It's just he's annoying at this point. No one else knows the moves and don't need to. Tony Schiavone, I know people don't like him anymore. I'm hiring Tony Schiavone, and I'll tell you why. Because he's going to be a dude he's going to be like the host of the YouTube show, doing the weekly breakdown. Recap weekly is what I said. God damn. Recap weekly. The Meltzer's wearing off on me, guys. I swear to God. If you guys didn't see the clip, I dropped like a more like formal version of the burial of Dave Meltzer. Make sure you check that out if you just don't want to hear like all the other stuff that happened around it. Taz, we're keeping for sure. And he's not phoning it in, and he's a great coach, and he's on Tough Enough right now. Patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times. I'm watching all the Tough Enough season 1. He's tremendous on that show. He whips those into shape. As for the referees, okay, so this guy's decent here. I'm not good with names. This guy's decent here. Stefan Smith is our lead referee right here. Okay. He's our lead referee. Remsburg's gone. I'm sorry. He oversells. He's way too goofy in matches. This guy's decent. He botches sometimes, but like we talk to him like brother. Listen, that goofy is gone. Let's get real here. This guy, I don't even remember the last time I saw him, so he's gone. Not that I'm like worried about seeing the refs. Or no, you know what? We're gonna keep him because that's actually the point. Like we don't want that. We don't want you to be heard or seen. Aubrey Edwards is gone. It's not even like a bias thing. You just overdo it. Rick Knox is gone. I mean, he just isn't safe. And then we have like our coaches or whatever. So I'm actually keeping Jerry Lynn. Pat Buck, I don't know what he all does, but he's worked in like every company. So I am keeping Pat Buck. He worked in WWE on a lot of too. So I'm going to keep him. And then I'm going to keep this lady as well right there because obviously, I don't know, I think she has something to do with perhaps the Spanish side of things as well. So guys, here is our list, our hired, our fired. Yeah, I'm going to make sure I keep track of this. And then we're going to do a tier list of all of the people that were hired or fired. And I'm also going to do hired and fireds for WWE and ROH and New Japan, whatever you guys want. But yeah, that was that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that.